back. So in this lesson we're going to start taking a more detailed look at what's involved in writing your IELTS Academic Task 1 essay. What do you actually need to write? What are we writing about? So let's look at the details. Okay. Now it's important for you guys to understand that the Task 1 essay, it's not really an essay. You're not writing an essay, you are writing a report. Okay? Now a report does not contain opinion and conclusion. You're only interested in reporting the facts and the information that you're given. Yeah? So it's not an essay. You're actually writing a report based on data and facts that you are given, and then you are reporting those facts. Yeah. Now your word count, your minimum word count to successfully pass this part of the IELTS test is 150 words. That's your minimum. Now if you want to achieve a band 7 or above, you have to go above and beyond the minimum requirements. Yeah? But you don't want to go too far, because you don't have time to write 250 words or perhaps 300 words. But you need to demonstrate that you can do more than just the minimum. Yeah? So I'm going to suggest that you guys should aim for somewhere between 170 and 190 words. Okay? So not a lot of words, and all you're doing is reporting the facts and the information that you've been given already. Yeah? So remember, no opinions, no conclusions, you're just reporting data and fact as you can see it. Okay? It's important that when you are reporting the data is organised logically. Yeah? It has to be done logically. Okay? If your data is not organised and what you're saying is not logical, then it doesn't read very well. You're not going to get a really good high band score. Okay? So don't try and explain what the data is, just describe it. That's one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. Don't try and explain what you're seeing, just describe what you're seeing. Yeah? Don't tell me why, just tell me what you can see. Yeah? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You need to be able to use good vocabulary to describe what you can see, the changes, the differences. Yeah? But all of that vocabulary is just simple vocabulary. Likewise, the grammar and the tenses that you're going to use in this report that you're writing is going to be quite simple. That doesn't mean that your sentences can't be long if you want them to be long sentences. They can be long sentences. A complex sentence in English, what we class as a complex sentence, isn't necessarily a sentence that contains lots of complex grammatical structures. Now, a complex sentence can contain very, very simple grammatical structures. Okay, the complexity comes from using or describing what you're trying to describe in a natural and effective way. Yeah. So keep it simple. Practice using simple, good vocabulary for comparing, contrasting, and describing things, and use your simple tenses. Okay. Let's talk about the data. Okay, I've said you need to organise your data logically, and in previous videos, previous lessons, we have spoken about looking at graphs and charts and trying to identify information and trying to identify what we think is the key information. Yeah. So let's have a quick review of key information. So the data that you're presented might include sort of the units of measurement, percentages, actual numbers, fractions, dates, years, months, minutes or seconds. Yeah? All of those units of measurements could be key pieces of data. Okay? The ranges as well. The units of measurements, days, the ranges could be Monday to Friday. Yeah, so your range may exclude Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, so the ranges that are displayed could be important pieces of data for you to talk about. Each chart, graph, map, flowchart will have headings and titles. Okay, those are not necessarily key pieces of data, but they could be important. Yeah. Similarities and differences. Anything that is similar, okay, could be a key piece of data. Anything that is very different, again, could be a key piece of data. Exceptions. Okay, so an exception is another word for something that is different. So if you have data that shows everything is rising, but one thing is falling, that is an exception. Yeah? If you have a bar chart with three different lines growing, but one line falling, that's an exception. It is different, but it's also an exception. Because it's an exception, that means it's key important data. Okay, patterns and trends. If everything is doing this, then this is a trend. If everything is doing this, then this is a trend. Yeah? You have to be able to identify certain patterns and trends within the data. And what I call milestones. Within the data that you're given, there's going to be, particularly with line charts for instance, or even bar charts or pie charts, there will be some data that, I don't know, perhaps there's it reaches a high point before it drops down, or it reaches a low point before it starts to rise again. Those milestones, those are key points or key parts of the data. I call them milestones. Yeah, milestones are things that you should look for in the data that you're given, in whatever form that you're given it. It's important to remember that the data that you're given could be a line chart, a bar chart, a pie chart, a map, a flow chart. It could be a data chart, like a spreadsheet. So the data is going to be given to you, or could be given to you, in many, many different forms. Yeah. Your job is to report the data, keep it simple, organise it logically, and these are the kind of things that you want to be looking for to help you organise the data and identify key points.